We're at the ITF Seafarers Conference in Cape Town, and we've been hearing about the issues around seafarers' health and well-being in the last few hours in the conference. And I'm here with Kimberly Karlshoy from the head of the ITF Seafarers Trust. And with seafarers and their health and well-being, what are the particular issues that we need to be aware of that you feel we need to raise more awareness about?
Well, right now we're looking especially into social isolation, depression, and suicide at the Seafarers Trust. We started in October with holding a large workshop with 50 experts from within and outside of the maritime industry to discuss what are the risk factors, what is it that we know, what don't we know, and what kind of interventions can we use from other industries that would be applicable to seafarers. Now we've taken it so far as we're going to be doing a large study. We're putting out a call for proposals on June 15th to a number of universities, academia, and others in order to look at what are the risk factors on board. How does seafaring as a profession make the risk of suicide or depression greater or lesser? Because it could be the ship is a protective factor as well. We don't know that as yet. What are the demographics? What do they have to do in relation to age and rank? How do they play a factor in the risk of suicide? And we're looking at nationalities as well, because in some countries, people are more likely to suicide than in other countries. And how much of an influence does that have in relation to the seafarers on board? So we're doing our study. We're going to look at that, those factors. We're going to look at seafaring as a profession compared to other professions, and we're going to look at what kind of interventions can we already put into place now, but also from the findings of the study, because the study is going to give us the valid data that we need in order to accurately assess our interventions at the end of the day.
And with this study, how can seafarers and their unions get involved? What do you need from them?
Well, what we need from seafarers and unions with this is we need to have anecdotal evidence, because we're hearing about a lot of suicides, but we don't have the actual numbers. So we need to be able to talk with the unions and talk with seafarers to see what do they know. How many people do they know personally that have suicided? What do the unions know? How many of their members have been lost due to people killing themselves? We need to be able to have that information together with what we can gather from the flag states and companies about the rate of suicide in order to accurately assess the extent of the problem. So it's really important that we get information from seafarers and from the unions, because without that we won't be able to compare it to the statistics that we get.
Kimberly Karlshoy from the ITF Seafarers Trust, thank you very much. This is Andy Khan-Gordon at the ITF Seafarers Conference in Cape Town.